we are Anna Costa, Giulio Mazzo, Cristina Rose, and me, Yvette Sabater. And the topic of the lesson plan we have thought about are the emotions. Most educational institutions, schools, and colleagues emphasize the thinking aspect or cognition, and they pay less attention to the emotional aspects. Emotional development is critical to succeeding in life, so we think it's very important to recognize, express, and react to different feelings. Our lesson plan is going to be directed to fourth of primary students, medium age, who were very divided by sex and groups of friends in the first term. Moreover, there have arrived 4 new people in class. So we think now it's the perfect moment to start working with emotions in order to improve their cohesion, their respect, empathy, cooperation, and tolerance. We think it will be easy to work it because we will work in a public and very familiar school where the communication plays a very important role there. We also will be able to use different resources such as TV for visual support, to watch Inside Out, a film that we will work, and different art material to make puppets and a stage. The project we have thought is going to take 1 term, concretely the second one, due to the lack of empathy seen in the first term. There are 2 English classes per week, and we want to take an hour of this subject to do the project, and the other one will be dedicated to ordinary English classes with the activity book. We want to spend 3 more hours of art to make a stage and some puppets, and finally 3 more hours of education in values. So we want to make a very interdisciplinary project. The lesson plan we want to do involves 2 parts. First of all, they will choose an emotion per groups, and they will work it, define the emotion and something like that. And secondly, they will have to think and do a theatrical representation to undergrad ages of their primary school with art resources made by themselves, the puppets and the stage.
Okay. The main reason of the election of this topic is because the students in middle age tend to have difficulties in knowing and understanding what they feel and how to react in different situations. They have the knowledge of the emotions, but it's hard for them to know how to apply these emotions in daily situations. What we pretend to do with this project is that the students work their emotions, be aware of them, and know how to identify each one of them, because in this way they can improve self-control, self-motivation. They will be aware of to identify other people's emotions and improve this way the personal relationships. The students who came from a very egocentrical stage, initial cycle, and as soon as they reach the concept of the emotions, they can solve problems inside and outside the class. The idea of carry out this project born from the need of improve the fellowship in the class, because during the first term the students were separated between different groups and the situations used to be conflictive. The project is interdisciplinary, as Yvette said, because we work through English, art, and values, civic values. And we will use a final representation as a motivation to keep working and make their best.
Okay, wait. Stop. We know you have to watch a lot of videos and you must be tired. So we invite you to go to and have a glass of water, or what do you want? No fica pausa. Hello. Okay.
Welcome.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the objectives. We have chosen learning objectives from 3 different points. The first point is the curriculum of primary education of the year 2015. The second one is the curriculum as well of the primary education of 2017, sorry. And the third one is a few objectives that we have written. The objectives that we found in the curriculum of primary education of the year 2015 are related with these 3 areas. The first one is foreign language area. The second one is social and civic values, and the third one is the area of artistic education. In the foreign language area, the objectives we work on is first of all to express orally and adapting the forms of speaking to many situations. And then another objective is to be aware of the multilingual and multicultural situation of these days in our society. In the social and civic values area, we want to develop auto-regulation mechanisms of their own emotions and the emotions of their partners, more or less. And we also pretend to make them recognize the other people's feelings or emotions. As well, we also want to promote a good environment and a good coexistence that will be very good for their lives when they were older and right now. At the third area, the area of artistic education, the objectives are most of all to value and to respect the other's artistic spirit. For example, not making love of others' productions, of others' artistic productions. And as well, we want them to realize that art is a way of express themselves and a way of communication as well. We found some differences between the first curriculum and the second one, most of all because the curriculum of 2017, the objectives are organized in a different way. For example, they divide the objectives depending on the level of primary school. There are 3 levels: the first, the second, and the third. The areas that we work on are the same ones as in the other curriculum. So, in the foreign language area, we want them to perceive the global message in the first level, and in the third level, we want them to participate in the oral expression of the language. In the area of social and civic values, the objective is to express and act by a clear objective and to make them be sure of their own opinion and to be critical. And then at the artistic area, it is also separated by levels. So the first objective for the first level, it is to recognize the artistic possibilities of ordinary materials. For example, recycled material, as we say in our project. And then at the second level, the objective would be to express themselves by art. And at the third level, it will be to make their own productions artistic. So, to end, I'm going to explain you a little bit the objectives that we have written, And they are, for example, to be empathic, to be aware of our emotions and to others' emotions, to manage their emotions and not be very impulsive, for example, and to be comfortable with other people and to socialize. Until here, the objectives.
Okay, we will work mixed abilities in the classroom with some different measures to create a good climate and equality in the classroom. With these measures, we will promote the participation in class and we will set new relationships which will improve the fellowship between the pupils. In this project, we can find all the sessions we will do in the class. The sessions are divided in different sections where we explain the objectives, material, description of each activity, the adaptations we will have to do, the groupings, the time we will need, the interaction, and finally the assessment. And that's all. If you have some question, you can write an email and we will answer you.
Thanks for listening to us.